Hi, everybody. So, my name is Tim. I am a recent public health graduate. Just got my BS, my bullshit in public health from Cal State Northridge. So, thank you, uh, Northridge, for doing that. That was pretty cool of you. But yeah, today I just wanted to talk about my time as a public health major. So, just wanted to do a little thought exercise. The reason I'm on the ground is just wanted to do a little mental yoga, because when you do physical yoga, you're on the ground. And today we're gonna stretch our minds, do some mental yoga as well. So grab a drink, grab a snack, grab a bag of chips, or grab an apple, or whatever you want to eat, because you're probably at home, probably have a fridge within walking distance. So so let's talk about the stuff we're gonna talk about. Yeah, so as I said, I just got my I just noticed something when I talk. It like vibrates against the bed frame, and it's vibrating back into me. So I'm like talking to myself in two different senses. I'm like talking to myself, but like I'm also talking to myself. But yeah, so as I said, I was a public health major, but not for my whole time at Northridge. I was actually pre-med at first. Crazy, because yeah, Asian parents. But yeah, so I was pre-med at first. I entered having declared biology as a major, because I was like in high school. I was like, oh, biology's sick, dude. I should like do that forever, But the thing is like biology, it just felt like not very sustainable. Didn't feel like I was learning anything that was valuable for me personally. It might be valuable for you, but like for me, it didn't really spark anything. Like, I'm not even sure if I could snap correctly, but it didn't spark or ignite anything within me. So I was like, this isn't, my cup of tea. This is more like a cup of doo-doo. So that's when I was like, see a biology department. And then I started looking into like different stuff. And then my aunt was like, look into speech language pathology. And I was like, what the heck is that? Speech and SLP, SLPU. That was really dumb. I was like, what the heck? It seems cool. I want to do something that will help people. That's super vague, but that's just kind of been my driving force in terms of like finding a field of study to pursue. So I was like, let's try this out. And I tried it for like a summer and a semester. And I was like, this isn't for me. I was more like, this is for a very niche type group of people, and I don't really fit into that. So I didn't drop out of school, but I dropped the major. And after that was when I went into public health. And it was really weird, because it was like for the first time I was like pretty sure I was in the right place in terms of school, because high school, you're kind of just there, you don't really care about the school, you just care about friends, relationships, having fun, being young, being wild, dude, being freaking sick. And then college, I didn't really feel like I really found my place until public health, which is pretty cool. But yeah, when I got into public health, I was like, wow, this stuff that I'm learning, it's challenging. Like for some of the stuff, it's challenging, but it's also very rewarding at the end of the day. So yeah, public health is, it's a maze, because it's amazing. But it really is kind of confusing, just because not a lot of people know what public health is. in general. Like, it's such a vague term. It's like the vaguest term ever. Vegas, Las Vegas, vaguest, most vague term ever, you know? Because it's the health of the public. What's wrong with that, you know? And you might think, like, isn't the health of the public, like, just every health related field? And yeah, sure. But the thing about public health is it really emphasizes on population health, and not just you, and not just individual health, but like the health of the general pop. And I guess that's why it kind of resonated with me, because it was more like it was just different, I guess, and it was very resonant with me in terms of where my values were at, and like the things I wanted to get out of an education and a career possibly. So that's kind of where things wound up. I was in public health. This first chunk, I just wanted to talk about public health in general, because some of you that might be watching might not know exactly what public health is. So I thought I would educate you on public health, since I got a degree in it. Yeah, okay, so I moved over a little bit, so I'm gonna move him right there, because this thing, it was like stabbing me in the back, but I was like, okay. So you might be asking yourself, Tim, what's public health though? I'm stupid. You're not stupid. I'm just saying, like, this, if you're stupid, you might ask that. So yeah. So the CDC Foundation, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Whoa, what the heck? The CDC Foundation has a TikTok? Dude, what the heck? Look, has a TikTok. TikTok about that. Stupid. But yeah, so you might be asking yourself, what's public health? Well, the CDC Foundation has a whole page about that, where you can kind of figure out, like, find out the basics of what public health is, if your layman's are curious about that. But basically, public health is the science of protecting and improving the health of people and their communities. It goes on to say that this work is achieved by promoting healthy lifestyles, researching disease and injury prevention, and detecting, preventing, and responding to infectious diseases. So that all kind of encapsulates the concept, the study of public health. Like, at this point, you might be saying, like, well, isn't like all health related services, like, don't they all do that? And you would hope so, but the brokenness and the fragility of our health, of our care system, doesn't really allow for us to put as big of a focus on community health and public health, as opposed to like individual health and treating individual people, which is, we need that, but it kind of tosses the public aspect to the wayside, which kind of sucks balls. But that's kind of why it interests me. Yeah, that's kind of what public health is from a certain perspective. It's a good starting point, but there's also a lot that kind of goes into it. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, and my experience learning it from an undergraduate viewpoint, so to speak. The public health program actually at Cal State Northridge, there's a pretty big emphasis on education, health education specifically. So that's just like developing programs about educating your community about like health issues like obesity, diabetes, heart disease, the big boys, in terms of chronic diseases. Now that's all good and dandy. We need that, because if we didn't have that, there would be crazy numbers of people with obesity and stuff like that, and that's bad for public health. We full circle, baby. So that's why we need that kind of stuff. But for me, that didn't really resonate with me because I'm generally not really interested in entering education, even though teachers are like the most valuable people in society, because we do live in a society, dude. We do live in a society, though. That society be looking fresh, though. So I wasn't really interested in the education aspect, but I was kind of coerced into learning more about that stuff, since that's like the core of the program, the public health program. So that's a lot of what I learned about, and like different health behavior theories and stuff like that, and like how to develop a program, which is cool. But the main stuff that I really grew interested in is health policy. And the way I found out about health policy, actually at first initially, wasn't through a class. It was actually through a conference that I applied to. I didn't really know about policy at first, but then I got this email in class. I was in like history, not hey Siri, shut up, dude. I was in history, and I got this email from the public health department. There's like this conference every year. It's in Sacramento. It's paid for. You get free food, free flight, free hotel. You get to make friends. So I was like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll try to. So I applied. You had to write an essay. So I like wrote the essay during class, because history's not really all that fun for me. So I was like, I got a C+ in that class too. Sorry, Mom. So I was like, yeah, I'll write this essay, I'll submit it. And then like a month later, I got an email in the same class, and I was selected among like a handful of people from, I think it was like 10 actually, so maybe like 2 handfuls. And that conference was so sick, dude. I met so many cool people. Shout out Remy. She's great. But that's when I really like fell in love story, right? With policy as a public health field. 'Cause I didn't even think about that, but like the fact that public health is so social justice based and you can impact policy directly, really made me more inclined to become more serious about like finding a career path in public health. So thanks to that conference, I'm entering the field of policy. Crazy enough. So yeah, health policy sick. Speaking of health policy, there's this class I took last semester of fall 2019. Can't remember my dates, apparently. But it was, I can't even remember the name of the class, but it was like Health Sciences 439. And it was like Community Health Action. And it was very grounded in policy and like studying Senate bills and Assembly bills and like how policy impacts public health. So that kind of like drove it home even more. Like if that class was like a dog, that class drove that dog home, That was stupid. So just to speak on my experience as a public health major and finishing it off in the middle of a pandemic, it's been really eye-opening because before I knew about public health, I didn't know anything about public health, but now that I know about public health, I want to learn more about public health. Bars, dude. In all seriousness, public health has impacted me in a really important way, and I really want to do a lot with it in terms of a career. And it's made me a lot more aspirational, and it's kind of given me this drive that I didn't know I had before, and kind of, you know, disrupt the system in a way, and really make an impact in a way that I only know I can. And this is a mentality that a lot of my fellow public health scholars and advocates have, which is so sick because I feel like we're a pretty cool group of people. Yeah, my experience overall as a public health major, especially at CSUN, has been really cool because I've gotten to meet a lot of cool people, like my fellow classmates, my professors. Everyone in the department is so sick, but they're healthy. But yeah, this next part, I really just wanted to kind of talk about health policy in general, why it sparks an interest in me. I probably would have never gotten into policy if it weren't for that conference, because that conference really put me on a path to pursue policy, which I'll forever be grateful for that, you know? Because before I was kind of on the path of least resistance. It's just really cool because I get to pursue something that I'm really passionate about, and it's something that's social justice based, and I've gone out of my way to learn about policy issues. No one's told me to, but I just want to know more about it. And I feel like if you find something that you're passionate about and you want to keep learning and keep doing, then why not stick with it? If it brings you joy and it's a sustainable career and you can do some meaningful work with it, then I would say why the heck not, you know? And that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, so overall, public health is great, and we need public health workers. We need more public health practitioners, you know, to do the research, to do the work that needs to be done, to bolster the work that other health related services do, like nurses and doctors, and you know, and all these people. We need to work together and to have that interdisciplinary, you know, collaboration. Because if you don't have that, we're all just imagine like a watch, and there was like a bunch of gears, right? But like they weren't touching. So like one would spin, but the others wouldn't because they're not touching. That's like if you don't have an interdisciplinary collaboration, you know? That's super deep, dude. I just feel like it's really important to work together with those that, you know, might not be within your radar, but like you gotta go to your peripheral and interact with people that you might not consider to be in your, you know, your pool of people. So I guess that's the moral of the story. Just like work with people. So I just finished editing the video, but I realized I didn't really have a proper conclusion. Like a proper ending. So I just wanted to say, really excited for the future, for what I can offer to the field of public health. And yeah, so yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Even though I never use the word y'all, I'll see you all then. Have a good night or a good day or a good afternoon, depending on the time zone, but just have a good Okay, bye.